We are all about the magic of movie making. And this is one of those movies that has a lot of magic in it. I imagine kind of like a kid, you grow up as an actor or a filmmaker, and you think, I mean, this is the kind of movie you want to make. For you, what's the most meaningful part of making a movie like Equalizer?
It's just the process, you know. People ask me what my favorite film is, I always say my next one.
What about that question for you?
Just telling a good story, and obviously, you know, working with Denzel and the greatest George when you sit with an audience, because everything else is the work. I mean, it's fun, you know what I mean? But it's hard work, and it takes a year.
Now, boom, now get up, take it. Boom. Wow. Wind up right. It comes right into the lens.
How would you describe Antoine Fuqua?
I would describe him as very collaborative, very calm, very friendly, and he'd always listen, and he'd say, well, I love that idea, or what about this?
See, there it is. Oh, come on.
He's amazing. If you want it bad enough and you're gonna fight and you're gonna work your butt off and you're gonna work, 24 hours a day and do your job really well and really fight for it, you can have it.
They're gonna miss it, they're gonna like, oh, for sure.
How is this guy to collaborate with?
Antoine?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I never work with him.
Can't stand
I can't stand him.
I could see the body language.
No, you know, it's funny you said that because we're sitting here and I'm like this. I said, I bet somebody's gonna say, oh, I look like I don't, because I'm this way. In fact, it's just because the chairs are so close.
Right.
When you look at me, what do you see? I have no feelings about you one way or the other.
Playing the villain in a big movie like this, it has to be very rewarding. Part of what made some of your scenes interesting is the makeup, because you covered into these intricate tattoos.
Let me tell you the truth. I don't have a stitch on me.
So every single one of those was hand-drawn?
Yeah, it took 2 days in between takes and setups. Come and lie down and two people would do what they needed to do, and then came back, and then we did the same again the second day.
And then after all that work, now start working.
Yeah.
Was there a movie for you, maybe not your favorite movie, maybe it is, you weren't just entertained by it, but you thought about what they were doing up there, the choices an actor was making?
I think, honestly, it was when I first saw Raging Bull. You can see Robert De Niro, I mean, he gave his entire self to that role. I mean, he went from being one of the fittest guys on screen to this, like, slob who was eating sandwiches in his chair, you know what I mean? And that's what I really want to do with this role is, I gained, 10 or 15 pounds to really become Alina. And I felt this kind of need to disappear into this role.
Oh, so you were just like on donut patrol then?
Yeah, I was just eating, man. I was, I wasn't doing it the healthy way, I guess. I just had a good time. I went to Roscoe's a couple times in LA. And then when I got to Boston, I just started eating pasta and donuts and cannoli. It was great. My name was Terry.
Bob.
Was there a movie that inspired you to be an actor because you were thinking about the actor's performance rather than the...
None, because I never thought about being an actor.
Really?
No, never. I just took a class and someone said I was good at it, so I took another one. I never had any dreams of being an actor. There wasn't anybody I wanted to be like. I didn't know anything. I grew up in the North Bronx, Mount Vernon, New York, and there weren't too many actors from up there.
If you told them to lay down, put their guns down, lay down with their hands behind their back, they'd do that, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Indulge me, Andre.
That's fascinating, and someone gave me some advice recently that dreams as an idea of what you should be, but paying attention to what you're good at is where your real passion will be.
My pastor said this, a pastor in New York said, dreams without goals remain dreams and ultimately fuel disappointment. So you can dream until you're 95, I just, one day, well, what's your goal?
Are you guys very familiar with ArcLight? Do you ever screen your films there or go there? A lot of those folks are in the industry or would love to be. And so I always try to ask everybody who I talk to on their behalf, what do you say to them?
Do what you love. Obviously, hopefully you have some talent. You might love it and not be any good.
If you want it and you train for it, you can do it. You just gotta work hard and you gotta stay true to who you are and not take no for an answer, because I can't even count the many times I've been told no in my career. So.
And if it's about making movies, you have to love movies. Because if you're not a director, or if you're not a movie star, quality or talent-wise, you know, there's a lot of jobs, you know, there's a lot of other things you could do to help bring a movie to the screen.
And everybody, you know, down to craft services is part of the process.
You can't make a film by yourself. I mean, you could go get a hand camera, a little home camera, and go make a little movie, but you still need actors. How do you make a film alone? Put on a stand and sit in front of it yourself, do the acting yourself. You know,
And critique yourself.
Critique yourself.
That suck, can you do it better?
You do it all by yourself? I mean, you know.